Okay, so in this week, I posted something about the marathon, and in the marathon, I said we're going to be analyzing every data set with different analysts, and I did. Some of them DM'd me directly, and some of them actually did it. Everything was done in the Telegram group because that's the only way we can share our insights and everything. So if you're not in the Telegram group, basically go down below and join the Telegram group. Trust me, it will benefit you more than anything, right? In this particular video, I'm going to be showing you guys the breakdown on everything that we did, the analysis that we did, the data that we work with. And that is why I said always have another type of skill so that you basically unleash that analytical power that you have. What can I learn after coming out from school as a computer science student? I was like, I'm going straight to data analysis. And since then, trust me, it's been nice. I've analyzed different data sets and I keep learning because in data science, you keep evolving, you keep learning new things, and the ability to always keep learning new things and evolving makes it nice, makes it powerful, right? So if you just learning one thing and it's get boring, you can only be good at that thing. But when new thing does not come to that feed, it gets boring. Data science, new thing comes up, and trust me, it gets exciting, especially when you love it, when you love what you do. You want to learn, you want to practice, and that is what I've always wanted to be doing for my subscribers. So if you join in here, you have a lot more than just inside forex. Now I'm always teaching you insights in general. Let's go in, and I'm going to basically go straight to what we're here for, the insight. I'm going to basically go straight to the Telegram group. So the Telegram group is where we do everything analysis, all the analysis that we do. So give it a Y, and you're going to see this particular one, Blue Ghost analysis, and I'm going to use the insights that we gave, you understand, that we gave from the day one. So remember, I posted something like this as join me in 1 week data analysis marathon where I will work together in analyzing data set and sharing our insights. I say if you're interested, send me a private message. Get ready, it starts on Monday, April 14th, and it's up to you to take this opportunity. Let's see if you're truly an analyst. And I sent a voice note, and all of them, some of them replied, some of them sent me DMs. You understand that I want to join. We started the first day, we kickstarted with an easy one, an easy one. We started with the fashion details, and I shared them in HTML5. The first analysis that we did, we open it. We'll also go back, open the other one as well. So let's open it too. Open that. So these are all the analysis we did for the fashion insight, and you can see how beautiful the visualization is. And each of this particular analysis had a question. The first question is understanding which fashion items are selling the most. If you come here, the fashion item that is selling the most, they have different type of items, starting from the handbag, tunic, tank top, leggings, wallet, 1SL, jackets, and so on and so forth. But I analyzed it. I think I did a group buy, and I based them on each of the items that are selling in the fashion, right? And if you check it, the highest tier is what? The belt. So people buy this or purchase this belt more than any other item in the fashion. So the belt is one, skirt is another one that people purchase in this data. Third to the highest is shorts, and shorts is what? Another third thing that people purchase in this fashion brand. Then followed by what? Pants. Pants are another thing that people purchase. Then the last but not the least, I think this should even be the third, right? This should be the third, because after this we have to this one, then we have this one, no, then we have this one, then we have this one, then we now have this one. So t-shirts are the ones. So I can also do this to be top 5, but this is the first insight we drew. The insight 2 is a question of analyzing purchase behavior and spending pattern. So we basically did the purchase amount, which is in USD, against the item that they purchase. So we want to see the customer purchase, how do they spend their money. If you check that, we found out that the customer spend more money in tonic, and the spending amount is $17,275, followed by a jean, right, $13,068. So all these things are the insights we drove from the second question. Identify seasonal trends in the fashion retail. So if you check the trend, it started all well. They kicked up in April, and they started with a good sum amount of 40,000, followed by August. August is 35,000. Then something happened in December. Sales comes in during that time. People buy more clothes, for Christmas, and it was a seasonal festive period, and people will go more shopping. Skyrocketed to what? 46,000. like that. See, it dropped what in September, which is 24.49, which I think so suggests to this data that the particular organization or the company should get a meeting and work on more of publication and to boost back up. Since they already have a good startup month, that means there's something about it they were doing, maybe publication, more of paid ad and stuff like that. They should do it and to go back up. The payment method preference, understanding how customer prefer to pay, right? That is another beautiful insight that we found. And I basically split them into two. We have only the credit card and the cash. People prefer the what? Credit card. And you know what credit card is, just like you taking from the bank, right? But before you use a credit card, I think you have to have a credit score as well. So people use the credit card more often in this particular aspect than the cash, right? So credit card had up to 80k in total, right? Then this one is more than 60,000 in total. Then the next day, which is day 2 of the marathon, we did soil pollution and association, which concerns with the health impacts. We basically drive inside in it. I gave a voice note and I basically gave the insights on how the things that we did over there. We're going to try to open the HTML file. So we'll try to open them. First of all, I have to explain what soil pollution is. Soil pollution is just basically the unnecessary pollutants that affect the soil and which can cause health issues to us human beings. And we have different type of pollutants, and which I listed. I gave them the meaning of each of the pollutants that's found in the data. We have the lead, we have the chromium, and we have the pesticides. The lead is a heavy metal once used in paint, gasoline, and pipes. Chromium is a metal used in making stainless steel and dyes. Some forms like chromium 6 can cause cancer if inhaled or swallowed. All these things being in the soil is dangerous, right? Or being around plants. Just imagine people throwing all this waste, which can later affect. And mind you, all these pollutants are not things that you basically throw on land where it's being planted. The issue is that some of these people throw it in a certain land. When rain falls, it sweeps those things to plants. And then after it affects the plant, sometimes it's being cultivated and it's still there and we eat it, and all these things affect us, which can cause issues, right? Then we have the pesticide. The pesticides are just like chemicals sprayed on farms to kill insects or weeds, you see. So when overused, they stay in the soil, water, or food and harm people or animals. Then we have mercury, a shiny or silver liquid metal found in an old thermometer, right? Can cause the brain, nerves, and the kidneys, especially from fish with mercury buildup. We have the cadmium. The cadmium is found in batteries, plastics, and fertilizer. Can harm bones, lungs, kidneys if it gets into the soil or food. We have the arsenic, a natural chemical found in soil and groundwater. A very toxic, can cause skin problems, cancer, organ damage when consumed over time. So all these things are the pollutants that I basically wanted them to know. So you can see how this Telegram group is. We basically drive insights also. So now the pollutant type that we found mostly in this particular place is the lead, we have the chromium, we have the pesticides, we have the mercury, we have the cadmium, we have the arsenic, right? All these things I've mentioned, these are the pollutants, and I mentioned what they are. So when you see them, you already know what they are, right? So I think the highest here is what? The lead. After the lead, we have what? The chromium. After the chromium, we have the pesticide. After the pesticide, we have the after this particular chromium, we have the cadmium. After the cadmium, we have the pesticide. After the pesticide, we have the mercury. After the mercury, we have what? The arsenic. So these are the pollutant type that we found, and we make sure we have a count of it to know what we have in the data. Then the next thing we have was the pollutant concentration based on region, like what region or what continent are found, what continents have this particular pollutant more, right? So we start from what? Asia country have a 43.25k of concentration. Do you understand? Concentration over there. Then followed by what? North America. North America is what? 42. Then we have Africa, which is 42. Then we have Australia, which is 39. Then we have South America, which is 39.9. This one is 39.6. Then Europe, which we have 38.7. So all this particular thing are continents. So the first one that always deal with these things are the Asian countries, followed by North America, then followed by Africa. These are the top 3 that have these issues, right? Then we go to the next thing, which is the pollutants across various type of pollutant, the pollutant concentration across various type of pollutants. So how strong is the concentration for each of the pollutants? So the first one we have is the chromium. The chromium is having a pollutant concentration of 43.3 K. Wow, that is much. Followed by lead, which has a very strong concentration, which is 43.3 as well. But this one is 43.39. This one is 43.34. Then we have the pesticide, which is 42.25. Then as well as 42.0, which is the cadmium. Then arsenic is 37.9. Then mercury is 37.4. So mercury, arsenic, cadmium, I don't know if I'm pronouncing them right, but I know how they work and I know how they affect the soil, right? So all these things are the concentration for each of the pollutant type. What we did was we found out that the chromium pollutant is more, and we want to now check the polio based on each month. Do you understand? Let's see this chromium pollutant in each month. In July, chromium pollutants, there's 44 counts, and something in August, 43, then 40 in June. So all these things are the effects of the chromium pollutant for each month. So that was the analyst for what day two for the marathon. Every factor we bring in are new different type of sectors. We're not just only specialized in one sector. We want to diversify our analytical power over all the whole data sets. So most of this particular thing were done. They were done by some people. A few people brought in insights. We are data analysts. They brought in insights. If they were good, they're going to tell them to make changes, and we're good, right? So we started in sales analysis 1. So we're going to basically dive deep into each of them. We started by a bar charts for the profit margin from the highest, and we basically checked it for every category. You know what profit margin is? Profit margin is basically the profit that was made out of the sales in a business. Let's say a company made amount of money, which is 100,000. Now the expenditures of everything, let's say, is 80,000. Now remaining what? $20,000. That $20,000 now is the profit margin. So how many percent is that particular profit margin? You divide 20% by the amount spent times 100, which is going to give you 20%. We did the calculation and we brought it into, create another column for it, and we analyzed it and want to see the profit margin, which particular category made more profit margin. Just like I said, you want to know which particular place makes you more profit margin and what is the return. So we have the electronics, we have the office supplies, we have the furnitures. These are the categories and these are the segments that we have, right? I make sure I arrange this from the highest, right? From the highest. The highest is the electronics. The electronics is the phones. The phones gave them a return of 442. Wow. So 442 is another high amount, then followed by the printers. The printers have a return of 387 profits. Do you understand? Then the laptops have 380, then followed by the electronic games. So in these electronics are the ones that are making profit margin. They are making more of return margin. So if you want to advise this particular company or this particular store and where they should invest more, they should invest more in electronics because it gives them more of profit margin. That means that means the goods are profitable. Yes, they have less costs, they have less costs, and they make more profits. So it's neither where they're getting it from, they're getting it in a good price or it's overpriced. So that is what I meant. Then category, we have the office supplies. The office supplies, we have the pens. The pens make a return of $425 back for them. Then followed by the benders. The benders make $395. The markers make 359. Then the paper make 350. Right? So all these things are the categories. Remember, we are not only looking for the categories of the office supply, but what aspect is actually making, what is the subcategory that is actually making that money. You understand? They have the categories, then we have the subcategories. In that category, what is the subcategory that is making the actual profit margin? Then in furniture, we have the tables. Tables return 398, sofas, chairs, and bookcases. So you can see how we basically drive a beautiful insight. Without simply stressing ourselves. You can see how we basically drive an insight without looking at stuffs or charts. You understand? So there's more to analysis, and trust me, if it's enticing to you, make sure you hit the like button. And if you're new here, I don't know what you're supposed to you're supposed to subscribe by now, so that when I drop good videos or when I'm giving info like this, you basically have it first in hand. The next that we have now is quantity versus profit. Quantity versus profit is basically what is the amount of quantity sold and what is the profit based on category, right? So the first one that we have is for what? The office supplies. The office supplies made $551,000 for this company, and quantity sold there was 4,446 units sold in the office supplies. Actually, it's even the list, right? Then the next is what? Furnitures, right? Furnitures are the second one that were made there. So you can see that the quantity was 4,441. Profits made there was $540,000, right? This one was 551. This one was 540. Then followed by what? The electronics. So this is one effective use of visualization. We can basically see inside it. Still more that we can basically still do. Then we have the specific cities according to the profits made. That's one insight you also have to drive for every sales personnel. So if you're a sales personnel out there, we can drive insight for you as well, like this. So you basically know what's going on in your company, and you know where you have to put in more effort or get more goods, what you have to do. This is the specificities according to the profits made. So the first one, I make sure I sort them out accordingly, right? I sort them out accordingly instead of us doing this guessing stuff. So I had to now make sure that every visualization is following a good order and ascending, starting from the top to the lowest. So the first one that we have is Orlando, a profit made there was 128,000, right? And the amount spent there was 452 to get it. And the profit that was made after that was paid is 128. So Orlando made more profit for these people, followed by Buffalo, then followed by other cities. Like that. One thing I did, I always check for outliers in case there's no one major big kind of sales that was there, because outliers can really affect data, right? You have to be mindful of outliers, right? So the next we always check for trend of sales across the months and the years. Years were given, months were given, and basically these are the profits for this particular organization. As you can see, there was a spike, so I basically marked the spikes that happened, and I've always told the people, I will always suggest that whenever spikes like this happens, another season now, you can see December 1st, 2022, or festive period, which is Christmas, another spike happened in July, holidays like that. Then there was a very, very peak drop over here, which was January 1st, 2024. So we should expect that every starting of the year, things like this happen. So this is a trend of the sales across the years and the months for the users. So you can see very, very interactive visualization that we do, right? Then the payment modes that were used for different states. So different states which each different payment modes. We have the COD, which is cash on delivery. We have the credit card. We have the debit card. EMI is basically equated monthly installment. UPI is unified payment interface, such as Google Pay, Paycom, Apple Pay, stuff like that, right? So we want to know the payment methods that are found for each state and the one that is mostly used according to the state, right? This is a very beautiful insight, trust me, it is. So we started with California, followed by other countries. So California, I think the highest here is for New York City. So the New York City, the COD is 199,000 that was spent there, and followed by credit card of 212, followed by debit card, which is 298, followed by EMI, which is equated monthly installment. That means every month there's a portion that will be taken from your paycheck or something. Then UPI is unified payment interface, right? Major Google Pay, Apple Pay, whatever it is. So 239. I think the highest for New York here, where I can say it, is for the debit card, right? The debit card had 298, followed by what the UPI, Google Pay, is what 239. Then followed by neither EMI, okay, followed by credit card. Credit card is always top in there. Followed by the COD, which is cash on delivery, then EMI, which that is for New York. You can do like that for each of the states. We're not going to do that. We'll just have the insights here, like that, like that. I think most of you have already found out the insight. I think even for Texas, the highest there is 280, followed by credit card, 280 for debit card. All these payment modes that we have across different states, it helps to tell the employee or the people that owns this particular store or company to know the payment method they should provide for each of the states. So this is a very beautiful insight. This is a good insight. Trust me, it's a beautiful one. And another insight I basically added just for the fun of it is the top customers in the data. And in the top customers in the data, we have different type of customers, right? So the first one was in Florida, and his name is Corey Evans. Florida are the one that basically had the top customers that paid a lot. Florida, I think only one from Texas and one from California, right? Florida, there's someone that paid 280,000. Another person paid Nicholas Addison paid 27,000. Then 25, Catherine Williams paid 25,000 in a particular goods. You understand? Then George Foster in Texas paid 27,000. I think this one is 27,350. This one is okay. Yeah, so Texas 27,000 as well, George Foster. Then Emily Ellison paid 27,000 as well. So Florida had top 3, then the 2 was spread to some of the states, right? We're only looking for top 5 customers. So that was the insight for sales.